So, let's talk about the Mace. Yesterday there was a snapshot that released 24W19A and 24W19B, and the changelog mentioned something about the Mace being nerfed, because it wasn't nerfed yesterday. It was nerfed last week in 24W18A. I didn't think anything. I didn't think it was because it wasn't mentioned in the changelog, but they had to make an amend to it saying, oh hey, the Mace got nerfed. Now, you can no longer have a Mace this powerful with Smite, Density, Breach all on it at the same time because now they're mutually exclusive. Windburst can still be on all Maces if you choose to. But there were also some reworks. These were added to Bedrock, but I don't cover those, so yeah. Now, the first 3 blocks you fall. Oh, hey, a victim. The first 3 blocks you fall will do 4 damage. The next 5 will do 2, and after that it'll be 1 damage per, which totals to about 12 for these first 3 blocks. Another 10 here, and then, well, however many after that. So, yeah, totaling to, with just these, like, 8 blocks, 32 damage, which is a lot. And you can still, with just a base mace, one-shot most mobs. Most, obviously, higher HP ones can't, but once you start taking into account density, is where things get interesting. Yes, they adjusted the attack speed. It is now much slower, because they made it basically not a diamond sword, which was 7 attack damage, 1.86 attack speed. Now it's 6 attack damage and 0.5 attack speed, being much slower. With density, because density got reworked to do 0.5 per block per level, if that makes sense. So it's about 2.5 at density 5. So these first 3 blocks now will do 6.5, then 4.5, and then 3.5 per block. On top of the 6, on top of the fact that you're going to be doing crit damage the entire time, it still is going to do a lot. Plus, Windburst has now been made to be more reliable, saving you with fall damage. I didn't take any. Normally I would have. Yeah. But now the Mace has been more put into the niche category, like the Trident, Crossbow, and the Axe. The Axe being just slower, but hits harder and can disable shields in combat. It's not a full-blown replacement for the sword, but it is a much more niche thing to use. You're not going to be full-blown like, oh, I need to use this over the sword because it's more expensive, and it's also just not, like, it's not as reliable. You'd rather use the axe for, getting rid of wood, but it is useful for getting rid of shields. The Trident being a pretty strong melee weapon with a 9 attack speed, with 9 attack, but it also doubles as a ranged weapon, and can also be used for fun, like this. Alright, is your Trident going to replace your main sword? No, because its main damage increasing achievement only affects aquatic types. So, yeah. And the crossbow, not a full-blown replacement for the bow, does have some things, like the ability to fire 3 shots at once, or, give me a second, the ability to fire through multiple mobs at the same time. If these... like so. It can fire through multiple mobs at the exact same time. So, it's just now in that niche category. I think it's in a good spot. The only thing I would personally change is the attack speed to make it just a little bit faster. Like, maybe make it as fast as the axe. That's the only real change I see. And people are going on about, like, Mace is ruined, never going to want to use the Mace, it's already enough It's already painful enough to get, so why nerf it? But I think it was more just a rebalance. They rebalanced it to make it seem actually appropriate. You can still very much one-shot the Warden with it, but you just have to go much higher up. With Density 5, I'm not 100% sure. It's not 100 blocks, I think. Like, it actually might. But you don't have to go super far. From, like, doing my testing with all this, like, here's the Warden. Here's a Warden right here. This was just one fall from there. 430 HP was left. I did 70 damage from this. That is a lot. Yeah, sure, with this I'd have to fall another 100 or so blocks, but it was a lot of damage. And I think it's in a good spot. The only change I would make is make it so that it's just the cooldown. But most of the time, if you're doing it, which I think would be correctly, by the time you get down to hit the mob using a wind charge, it's already fully charged to do a lot more damage. So, yeah, I just kind of want to talk about it. I didn't cover Snapshot yesterday because it was a pretty small one, just being bug fixes and addressing, hey, we nerfed the Mace last week, and 4 new cave sounds, that's about it. And my W key was on the fritz, so, yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Bye.